Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're doing a deep dive into, well, the core concepts and essential language of personal banking.
Yeah, and our source for this isn't some dry textbook, is it? It's actually quite unique.
Exactly. It's a vibrant conversation pulled from an English language learning program. So our mission for you, the listener, is really to go beyond just definitions,
Right. We want to extract the most important kind of nuggets of knowledge from this material.
giving you a clear, actionable understanding of how banks operate, the strategic choices you face.
And even the subtle ways people talk in, formal financial settings
Right.
with confidence.
Yeah, so you walk away well-informed, but hopefully not feeling overwhelmed by all the jargon.
It's fascinating, actually, how a simple language lesson can open up this really practical, almost strategic view of the financial world. So where should we start? I think maybe with the two fundamental types of bank accounts you'll pretty much always encounter.
Yeah, good call. And how they're designed for, like, really different financial goals. So the dialogue in our source, it jumps right into the checking account.
An everyday account, basically.
Right. Most of us know it's for day-to-day transactions, paying bills, shopping, getting quick access to your money.
But what's insightful is how it's designed. The source mentions often unlimited daily transactions, easy access.
Yeah, it sort of subtly encourages constant financial movement, doesn't it? It's built for immediate liquidity for cash flow,
And then, boom, in sharp contrast, the source brings up the savings account.
which, as the name suggests, its main job is for accumulating money. Money you ideally don't touch often.
Exactly. And the key thing here isn't just that it earns interest, though that's part of it.
Right.
It's that banks often structure these accounts with, yes, a higher interest rate, but sometimes they require a pretty substantial minimum balance.
Our source even mentioned $10,000, which is quite a bit.
It is. And this structure, it isn't just about earning more interest. It's like a built-in incentive for disciplined, long-term saving. It makes dipping into it less convenient.
That distinction is so crucial for managing your money effectively, isn't it? Okay, so building on that, let's clarify some absolutely essential banking vocabulary. Words that get maybe a richer meaning when we see how they're used in this dialogue.
Good idea. Like, transaction.
Yeah, anytime money moves, right? In or out of your accounts.
Depositing funds, withdrawing cash, spending with your card. Fundamentally, that's a transaction. It's the basic unit of financial activity banks track.
Precisely. And the running total of all those transactions, the amount you actually have available at any given moment.
That's your balance, and keeping track of your balance, like in real time if you can.
That's your first line of defense against an overdraft.
Overdrafts, yeah. That happens when you try to spend more money than you actually have in the account.
Pushing your balance into the negative.
Right. And our source notes this can trigger fees, which nobody likes.
Definitely not.
Though, interestingly, it also mentions banks often have a set maximum overdraft limit. That's actually a crucial detail for, risk management on both sides.
Good point. Avoid those unexpected fees. And speaking of spending, the source makes a really clear and important distinction. It talks about the debit card.
Mm-hmm. Different from a credit card.
Very different. Your debit card, the one the bank issues, gives you immediate digital access to your own money.
Your own funds, yeah.
So whether you're pulling cash from an ATM or, tapping to pay for groceries,
The funds come directly out of your checking account, right then and there.
it's actually a powerful tool for real-time budget management, making sure you only spend what you actually have.
It really shows how understanding these basic terms, these foundational ideas, sets you up for success in pretty much any banking interaction.
It's not just vocabulary lists.
No, it's financial literacy in action. Managing daily expenses, planning bigger financial moves. It all starts here.
And it's not just knowing the terms in theory. Our source takes us right into a real-world scenario, opening an account. It vividly shows the practical steps.
Yeah, that part of the dialogue paints a really clear picture.
So what did it highlight? What does the bank teller actually need?
Well, according to the source dialogue, the teller asks for practical requirements, things like your social insurance number,
Okay, standard stuff.
and typically 2 pieces of government ID. Plus, naturally, there's always paperwork to sign.
Always paperwork.
Always. But what's kind of amusing in the conversation is this mention of a, shall we say, rather ambitious deposit.
Oh yeah, the $1 billion deposit.
Right, $1 billion. It's probably hypothetical, a bit humorous.
You think?
But it highlights that even for such a crazy sum, the basic steps for opening the account, they stay pretty much the same, standardized.
That's true. Now, one particularly intriguing thing the source gets into is the checkbook.
Ah, the checkbook.
For some listening, a check might feel like, I don't know, something from history.
A bit of a relic, maybe?
But our source highlights its surprising, ongoing relevance in certain parts of the world,
Fundamentally, a check is just that piece of paper, isn't it? A written instruction to your bank.
saying, pay this amount to this person from my account. You write it, you sign it.
And here's where the source gives us that fascinating cultural insight.
Mm.
How common it is varies hugely by geography.
Right.
While it's still, very much part of daily life for many in America, paying recurring bills like phone or electric.
We're getting paid, the paycheck.
Exactly, the paycheck. Yet you'd rarely see checks used in everyday transactions in, say, China.
It really illustrates how financial tools evolve differently across the globe, doesn't it? Influenced by culture, technology adoption,
Totally. It's a great example.
and just to help you navigate similar official interactions. Maybe not depositing $1 billion, but,
Probably not.
Our source highlights some really nice, polite expressions the bank teller uses.
Oh, yeah, the language itself.
Instead of just ordering you around, you hear phrases like, I'll get you to fill out this paperwork.
Or, I'll need your social insurance number. It softens the request.
Yeah, and instead of just pointing and saying, sign here, the teller says, if you could just sign here.
Those subtle linguistic choices, they aren't just about being polite, though they are. They establish a tone of, professional respect and clarity.
Especially important in a formal financial setting. So what does all this really mean for you, the listener, trying to be well-informed?
I think it means moving beyond just learning words. It's about getting a deeper feel for the financial ecosystem around us.
Yeah, you're not just learning concepts in isolation.
No, you're gaining insight into how things actually work, the operational nuances, and even the etiquette that makes financial interactions smoother and more effective.
Okay, so if we step back, try to connect this to the bigger picture,
Mm-hmm.
what really stands out to me is how a seemingly simple interaction, like opening a bank account in this dialogue, it reveals so many layers,
Financial mechanics, cultural differences.
even professional communication styles. We've unpacked the distinct sort of strategic roles of checking and savings accounts.
Clarified those key terms,
Mm-hmm.
transaction, balance, overdraft. Understood what a debit card really does.
And it was genuinely insightful to see how something older, like the checkbook,
Yeah, while it might seem like a historical curiosity to some of us.
it remains a vital part of daily finance in other places. This whole deep dive, hopefully, has armed you with essential knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge to confidently approach banking, whether you're just opening your first account or trying to make better sense of your statements.
Absolutely. And, well, this brings up an important question for you to think about. As this digital landscape keeps reshaping how we interact with our money, and, global banking systems become ever more interconnected,
Yeah.
how might these fundamental terms and concepts, the ones we talked about today, how might they evolve?
That's a great question. And what new financial literacy skills will become the most critical for you to master next in that changing world?